One of my interests about the world today is some kind of American fascism. I think it keeps on rolling out. I think we do have a condition in the world now where we have American fascism that keeps on rolling out. I think that's what America has become. It's something to do with Black America, maybe Black Obama. I think we've had a Black American president, which is good for America. I think it's a quality of people. It's kind of accepting the rights of people. But I think we have some kind of a Black America in the world that keeps on rolling out fascism. I think it just keeps on rolling out fascism. I think it's the biggest fascism in history. It's kind of like a continent, an American continent, with 260 million Americans population. 260 million population. That's a very sizable volume of fascism. I think we have Coca-Cola, we have pornography, we have cinema, we have violence, we have autopsy and crime shows. I think we have crime and murder and gun crime, and we have the death penalty, and we have skulls and bones and piracy with corporations. We have a piracy economy in the world where corporations enter into foreign markets and dominate overseas markets. There could be domestic production in those markets. There seem to be American markets and American piracy. I think we need domestic production and consumption and domestic economies in the world. I think we have dominant American companies in the world. So I think there is some kind of issue of piracy here, because America has no right to monopolize world trade, has no right to do that. Individual countries have the right to conduct their own domestic production and consumption and economies. And I think America is trying to monopolize world trade to 60 to 80%. So I think that's kind of very fascist as well. It seems to be black economics, black finance. If you look at fascism, we have a lot of sport, which is a lot of violence and sport. It's leisure and violence. That could be fascism. I think if you look at America, it kind of has a personality and character of human sacrifice. If you look at the tendency of its gesture of humor or gratitude, it seems to be a human sacrifice. Laughter, I think, is gesture of gratitude, is a human sacrifice of laughter. I think America does some kind of a human sacrifice of laughter. I think it finds death funny. I think that's what That's what America does. Finds death funny. It does death penalty, violence, skulls and bones, scars and tombstones. I think that America is very culpable for kind of punishing the world, because it feels like it's some kind of totem pole to sacrifice. I think America feels like it's been sacrificed. So I do think that America is kind of conducting fascism in the world. We have a democracy, which is fascism. It's elections with 3 political parties. There could be 10 or 20 political parties with lots of choice and lots of politics and lots of views about politics and lots of public opinions and options about politics. But we have 3 limited options of democracy and political parties. We have the Conservative Party, the Social Party, and we have just the Republicans and the Democrats. That's the public choice we have for the political environment in America. I think that's quite fascist. If you look at democracy and elections in public elections in public, and elections in public, it originates from Adolf Hitler's Germany. That's where democracy originates from. That's where elections originate from. Hitler's Germany. I think that prior to Germany in Europe, north of Germany in Europe, we had a Central Europe that was kind of very flagrant and very much government orientated. There was an absence of elections. We had like a military presence and military conduct throughout Europe. We had diplomatic negotiation between countries, but what we have now is election processes. We have democratic processes, we have parliamentary protocol. I think the fact that we have elections in the world and democracies in the world is kind of a very public world. I think we live in a public world now, where there's a lot of public and a lot of public environment and a lot of public utensils. I think that's what elections do. They kind of insist on public introductions with public utensils, and I think what we need is some kind of a stable standard of code, conduct and legislation that is perhaps more conducive to a public conversation or something. Thank you very much.